Hey guys. Just trying to get everything all set up, and it's a little sunny in here, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see. But let's give it a shot. See what we can do. Air because it's hotter than blue blazes in here. So I can't see comments. So let's see what I can get to turn on. I can't see comments. So oh, we're gonna turn the volume down on that because now I'm like repeating myself. This is stupid. We're gonna avoid. Okay, so we're gonna do a milk bath tumbler, and a lot of people haven't either seen them or haven't seen how to do them. And I was playing, watched a tutorial, and it came out super cool. So I figured we'd do it here. So first I just primed a cup with Rust-Oleum paint and primer. It's got some imperfections, but I don't really care. And I don't have any dried flowers because Amazon can't get them here that fast, and I'm not that crafty. So we're gonna do it with water slides. The one I did last night I did with water slides, and it came out freaking fantastic. Loved it. So I feel like I'm really short here. Probably if somebody loved me, they would bring me a stool, but I'm not sure anybody does, so probably have to sit here on my office chair that's way too short and doesn't go up any bigger. That's okay, then you don't have to see all of me. So I do my water slides on my laser printer so I don't have to seal them. I use Sunny Copa water slide paper in extra thick. So I don't know if you've used it before, but it's super nice because it doesn't tear like the normal water slides. So I just toss all the flowers. Got a whole bunch of different flowers and some ferns and whatnot. So I just toss them in the water, let them sit for a minute and soak, and start to come undone. And the nice thing about these water slides, because they're extra thick, you don't have to have them even on the backing, and they'll come off the backing in the water, which is fine. So we'll soak them in there and let them go. And this is the first one that I'm going to put on. So once they're nice and wet, they just come off, and it's like a sticker. And they work really well. I can move them around, and I don't have to worry about them not sticking or worry about them tearing. Last night I had a little bit of a problem with the curve, and they get a little bit of wrinkle to them, but you don't notice that under the milk bath epoxy that you're going to put on there. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So you just get it on there, and hey Sam, if you're watching this, can you bring me a silicone brush, please? So the nice thing with the water slides, we're just going to put them all on kind of random. Nice thing about the water slides is a silicone brush will take the water out, flatten them down, and get all the water kind of squeegeed out from underneath there. So I'm just kind of being haphazard here. I don't know why I have one glove on. That was kind of random and weird. Oh. Probably don't need a glove on for this part, but whatever. think I'm going to put one on the bottom this time too. So I'm going to put this big orange guy on the bottom. Ta-da! I love water slides. They're so easy. Make my life so simple. So I'm using this one is just a Walmart tumbler. So it has the logo that sticks up. So last night I just stuck a flower right over there, and it doesn't matter if it goes kind of down in the cracks or what, and the epoxy will seep in underneath, so it's all good, and it kind of will hide. A lot of times I try and hide it with glitter, but because this has no glitter on it, I was worried that that was going to stick out and be really big and bold and kind of in the way, but it doesn't. It kind of blends in, which is nice. So, come on. Really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here. I'm just really slapping these guys on. See what else we got. Oh, that's an empty one. And to find the flowers, I just Googled single dried flower images, and I got plenty that came up. So printed them on a water slide and off we went. I was dying to try this method. I don't know how many of you know that I do photography on the side in all my free time between being an accountant and doing cups and whatever else I do. So I've been dying to do a milk bath photo shoot. So in one of the groups I had posted a sample because somebody had asked what a milk bath was. They didn't know. And I've been dying to do a milk bath photo shoot. If you don't know what it is, you should look it up. But essentially, it's a like a boudoir type shoot that that the person, I was going to say woman, but I guess it really doesn't even have to be a woman. Except mostly men don't do those type of shoots. Anyway, so they're in a bathtub, in a milk bath, and they essentially are naked, or it looks like they're naked, and it's got flowers in it, and you put milk in the water. That's the milk bath, and I just love it, and I've wanted to do it forever, but could never quite convince somebody that that they needed to let me shoot them that way. I guess scantily clad is better than in a bathtub. So anyway, so this is kind of my rendition of being able to do that. And it came out so fantastic. I think I was more overjoyed than anybody else who saw them. Everybody was like, oh, that's neat. Great. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. I think it's the most fantastic thing I've ever seen in my life. A little weird though, so that's me. Okay, one more flower and we're going to be good on this. So we'll just stick that guy here. Why not? Because it fits. So then, here's what we've got. Here's what it looks like with just the water slides. And I have a few extra pieces that I'm not going to use, and we're done with the water. So I'll get that out of the way right now, because knowing me, I'll dump it out. That's what I do best, is make a mess. I even moved into the office to do this so that y'all don't have to look at my super messy, there's the thing, can you see it? So y'all don't have to look at my super messy space. It has glitter and gunk and crap all over it. So then we're gonna hit it with a heat gun. It kind of, you don't want to do it too much, but it helps the water evaporate, but also kind of adheres the water slides to the cup. So, although at this, if they weren't super stuck in place and they move a little bit when I put the epoxy on, it's not going to be a big deal because they're just kind of meant to be random. Just kind of place them wherever it looks like it fits. So, it's going to get loud for a minute, so I can do that. If you guys are wondering, my heat gun actually has a different temp settings. So I know that it can make the cup super hot, and a lot of people are like, hold up, what do you got going on there? Don't be doing that. And it does get a little bit warm, but I did have it on light. So I'm almost wondering if I shouldn't turn this a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'll turn it this way. Turn it this way. See if I can turn on the comments too. I can't get them to turn on. So let's put this bad boy back. See if we can get it way in the way. Way in the way. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here because I'm going to do another live in a minute on a bubble technique that I thought was really super cool. So hopefully this gets you guys what you need. Let's see if we can get all the angles right. So then you mix your epoxy just like normal. I just use a medicine cup. I always mix. A lot, because if I don't, I usually mix 60 mLs at a time, because if I don't use it on my cup, then I always have molds, which I didn't bring in with me, but that's okay. My hands are wet now from the water slides, so my gloves don't want to go on. There we go. We'll do 30 mLs of each piece. Woo, that went a little high. I'm using Faux Rizzle Nouveau, and hate it. Really hate it. Don't like it. I used, before this, I used Pro-Marine, and actually before this I was using Faux Rizzle UV, and that's actually my go-to. But between that and the Pro-Marine, I have my eyelids basically peeling and coming off. It's fantastic. Even though I don't have any exposure, like it's not touching my skin. Whoa! I guess my turner didn't want to stay level. So I'm trying to use up what I have of the Pro-Marine, and I have that. Whoa, that went way, way too far. Too high. Right to the top. Ta-da! Um, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, my Promarine and my Faux Rizzle and whatever else. I have a gallon of KS resin that Brittany told me to try. She seems to like it, and I'm hoping that it's a little bit less of a smell to it than there is with this stuff, because this stuff's kind of killing me. But I have gallons and gallons, and I don't want to waste them. Spent quite a bit on them, so I'm trying to use them up. So anyway, so we'll mix up the epoxy. I'm just going to do a quick mix, and then we'll be set. I feel like a munchkin. I feel like somebody let me sit up at the grown-up table, and I'm too little. I'll have to go back where I came from. Throwback to Thanksgivings as a child. There we go. I also don't have my contacts in today, so I keep having to push my glasses up. I'm going to epoxy them to my face. I know it before I'm done. Hate wearing glasses. So there we go. So now we need to mix it up. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. And get it all mixed. This stuff is definitely a lot thinner than my Faux Rizzle, but a little thicker than the Permarine. And I don't mind that, but it's super, the Nouveau is super finicky about what it'll adhere to. So you end up with, on your first coat, if you're putting it over any kind of spray sealant or whatever, it leaves big holes where it doesn't adhere the first go round, which, I mean, you can always go back and do more coats of epoxy to fill them in and level them out, but what a pain in the butt. With my Faux Rizzle, you can usually get away with two coats of epoxy all said and done. So I'm not going to be super worried right this minute about bubbles. So I guess move it if I can see better. There, you can see a little bit better. Trying to get out of the sun and make it so you can see and not have my trimmer in the way and all kinds of things. Okay, so then I just use for this, and you can use paint, acrylic paint in white. You could use micas. Micas has the sheen, and you really maybe don't want the not the sheen, but the kind of sparkle or whatever of the epoxy, or of the micas. Maybe you do, I don't know. Anyway, I just used Pinata white alcohol ink, and it's just kind of, you have to test it out. So I just poured in a good size amount. And then you have to stir it all and get it mixed thoroughly, because you need to see how milky it's going to make it. And you want it milky, but you obviously want it to be still kind of see-through, because you want to be able to see the flowers. I did find that you could put quite a bit in there of the white and have it be like that's kind of milky, but from experimenting last night, I want it quite a bit more white. I wish I could tell you exactly how much to put in, but I can't. It's just kind of it's a preference thing. So I would say I did a test coaster last night, and I might have put too much in this time. I started last night with less and like tested it out and found out that I really like it to be pretty milky, so that there's just kind of a hint of the flowers. I don't want to be able to see everything and all the imperfections in the cup, and also that's probably better for what I want. You might want it a little bit less, but not me. Not me, not me. And with the alcohol ink, I found that you have to, it gets on the side of whatever you're mixing it in, so you really want to make sure you mix it in, otherwise you're going to get stripes and streaks. And that's not what you want. So I'm going to let it sit for a minute and let the bubbles come up. And then I have to stand to do this because of the wonderful things he does. Because my turner sits so high. So this turner is fantastic. If you guys haven't seen him before, it tilts. So that's super cool because you can get the bottom of your cup, but you have to be careful because it's really easy to get it not level. And it doesn't like when I mount my cups on the base, the plumbing, whatever you call this thing, the ring, I guess, that I use is kind of heavy, but your cups adhere or suck up to it, and it holds it in place. They don't wobble, they don't come off. Not once have I ever had one come off, but it's just a little heavy for my turner. Doesn't like to sit level. Guess you should just plug it in. So let me plug it in, and then we'll be in business. I thought of everything, but apparently I didn't. Okay. Now, we have spinning. Yay. Spinning is good. Spinning is good. Okay. I just hope I didn't get it too milky. Looks maybe a little bit more than it was last night, but so you want a good, like a flood coat, really, on this. It's not something that you want a super thin coat. A thin coat makes it that much more, makes the flowers that much more see-through, or the coat that much more see-through, I guess. So it looks super milky, but I guess it's coming out okay. Spilling epoxy everywhere. Holy cow. I'm not used to having it. I'm used to standing at the end of it. I guess I could go to the end of it. It's funny how particular everyone is about how they spin and what direction it goes and how fast it goes and whatever else, and how it's so much a preference thing. So you can kind of see here, stupid Nouveau is gonna leave bubbles and bare spots. Piss me off. You can kind of see here how dark they can be, and then how much this smooths them. Just get a cover on there, get the bottom covered. I just love the contrast of the bright flowers and the milky color over them. So you just get like a hint of them. To me, it's so gentle and so sweet. I don't know, it fascinates me. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to convince someone to let me do a boudoir shoot in a milk bath. It's really popular with maternity shoots. So I just don't know any pregnant girls. So that's all there is to it, guys. It's really super, super simple. It's a lot more difficult if you do it with live flowers, because they come, especially if you order them on Amazon, not everybody, has time to pull flowers that aren't in bloom right now and dry them. So, I ordered them off Amazon, and I guess they get think brain. They get, so they bleed because they're dyed. So you have to Mod Podge them and seal them with some sort of sealer. The one person I know that has done these and did a tutorial that I saw, they were dyed, so they bled. Actually, I'm going to sell my torch. And when they bleed, then it defeats the whole white look, which is part of the draw. So then you just do like normal. Get the bubbles out and let it spin. Just like that. I guess you can kind of see a little bit. So that is it. I wish I could see the comments. I can't see what you guys are talking about, or if anybody's saying anything. That's dumb. I'll have to go back. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them, and I'll go back and I'll look in just a minute here when I'm done. Ugh, this is always my problem too. I can't leave them alone. And I hate doing these Walmart cups because they have a lip on the bottom that bubbles. So I'll just have to wait and let it spin a little bit. Hit it one more time with the torch. We should be good. So that's that, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. And yeah, I'm going to try something new in just a minute, but I'm not going to try it live because I haven't done it yet. So I want to know how it goes before I look like a fool. So I'm going to try that and then probably be back live in a little bit if I can get the bubble method to work and show you how to do that. So we should be good. I'll see you in a few.